Let's usher start. So yeah, I wanted to sort of summarize everything before we now do the summary will kind of make this one make sense. So like the way classes
Okay,
interact
no
with
problem.
the way classes interact with their objects is such that in this company that we created here now, that there are three managers, for example, right? Imagine this.
Oh, sorry. What are we talking about?
We're
Is
talking
this
about classes.
still the observer pattern?
Well, yeah,
Okay,
no,
classes
we
in
still go back.
general.
No, we'll talk about every pattern at once, all at once. Then we'll now go back up there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, like the way this class is now, imagine that as this manager class is created, or as this manager position is created in this organization, imagine that they have all of them are entitled to the same thing now because they are all managers. Maybe they have a WhatsApp group chat. Yes, let's call it a WhatsApp group chat where all the managers enter, right? Where they are all there. This WhatsApp group chat makes them have access to each other. They can all do the same thing because they have the same power. They can, maybe all of them are admins on that WhatsApp group chat or something like that.
Yes.
So that is why a method or a property inside one class, all of them can touch each other, they have access to each other. Like it's very, very easy because they are all in one class. This guy can easily access this other guy. This other guy can easily access this other guy, and blah 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 blah. That is classes within. I'm talking of properties inside one class, right? But then what happens when okay, the typical example for this before I move on is like how Learnable now, all of us are on one server. So automatically we have access to each other. It's because we're on one server that we were able to DM each other, that we're able to see each other's username, to DM each other and talk. The fact that we're on the
Yeah.
same tech view like something like that. It kind of creates like a connection because we are in the same class of something. So we can access each other easily versus if I didn't have a number or I didn't have your username or stuff like that. You can't really do none of
Yes,
that.
it will be very
Siri, rest.
difficult. Yeah.
I don't know.
I found this on the web for easily versus if I didn't have your number, I didn't have your username or stuff like that. Are you going to do a lot?
Sorry, did you get any of that?
Yes, I did.
Did you see what happened?
No.
So I said something. I may have mistakenly said something that had Siri in it, right? And my Siri automatically spoke up.
Okay.
So I was now like, it was picking what I was saying. I was picking up all the things I was saying as commands. So I now told this Siri rest. And then it started replying me with everything that I picked up. It was funny. Siri is like my girlfriend. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Who am I?
so yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it kind of gives them access to each other in a very good way, and they can message each other, they can blah 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 blah. But then what now happens when someone, say for example, who is not on the server, like for someone who is not on the server to be able to relate with people who are in the server, right? They will have to have one or two, at least one thing in common. Like for example,
One common feature.
yes, like say me now, I'm the one that was mostly adding people on the server, right? So the common feature now for this example would have been the me that was adding them. Like I knew those different people, so I added them, and now each person I add, I've now put the person in a way that the person can now get even closer to every other person on the server. So that's what we did up here.
That is on the server.
Yeah, that's what we did up here, how we created this class. This class was Observer. Don't forget that the name is Observer. If we just use Observer, what can make it confusing is this Observer here. If we had used the user, say, imagine this is a live stream, like I started. Imagine this telephone package was a live stream bar, and this was a user, like a user of the app, a Zoom user now. This user now can instantiate himself and just be a new user, right? He's just a user. He's not on anybody's live stream. It's just a user that is just on his own. But
Yes.
for him to join this live stream and relate with other users on this live stream, he will now have to be added with
Yes.
one of the methods of this live stream.
Added.
Yes, which is
Yes.
add observer. That will
Yeah.
now add him, and he'll be added to the venue of the live stream. And now that he's added to the venue of the live stream, every other person on the live stream now has access to that person. Like, that's the wonderful thing. Every other person there, like,
Yes,
they now
right.
have access.
Yeah, and the person to also have access
To
to
every
other
other
people
Yes,
since he
yes.
has been added to
Exactly.
the live stream.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say was, assuming we didn't do this, these two lines here were the two lines that gave the access. If you see how this code will have an error the moment we remove this.
Yeah, we did not.
You might not have an error, but then there will be nobody to notify, to be honest, because there's
Exactly. Yeah.
the code doesn't run. There's literally nothing to do, because nobody's on a live stream. So who
are you notifying?
there's just a live stream, an empty live stream running, and then there's users that are just there idle. So what unlocked all these features was adding them to this place. As they were now here, everyone, even this guy, can grab onto them. Even this guy, if they really want to, they can all find a way to grab onto them. Then to now explain what this method is, imagine this method is now after you've grabbed onto them, right? Let's say you've added them to the live stream. You've only done one thing, you've added them to the live stream bar. You now have access to them, but you still need something to hold them. Like, you can't just have access. Even if you have access to me, right, you still need to enter my DMs particularly. Like, the fact that you have access to me is like your I don't know how to put it, but like, you have access to me, right? You can see me, but then you've not done anything with that. We're all just moping at each other and stuff like that. For you to grab on, for you to like have some contact with me, you have to now enter my DMs. And for you to enter my DMs, I have to have that DM feature like on my own end. And it's me that is like from my end that you see the DM. It's not you that will give me the DM feature. I'll come with the DM feature myself. Like, when I add your live stream, you will now be able to be like, okay, let me DM this guy that is on my live stream. That's what this update is. It comes with the user. The user himself has this thing that helps it get updates. So the moment this user is now passed in here, the moment you pass it in here and attach it to this guy, you are now giving this telephone class access to this user, first of all, access to everything inside this user's method. So the telephone guy uses this access, first of all, to be able to notify the user by
to get the name.
Yes. And is able to access each method. Assuming you created another method under that is like shout and another method, this guy can still use it and shout for this user somehow, like find a way. Of course, for you to do that, you will have to come in here and call it. You can see that we have to call the method. You would have probably needed to maybe create another method that was like shout at user, and then you now say something like for const observer of this observers observer.shout.
This observer.ob. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is to make this updating make sense, because a lot of people were like, what is this thing now doing here? Why is it here? Why it's here is because if it wasn't here, what is it now? Like, how will it now notify can you notify
how will it notify the observers?
Yeah. How will the observers receive the notification themselves? It will send it out, but how will it receive it? It can't receive. How is it going to get it? So this is how it itself receives that notification. And like I said, the reason why it can access this thing is simply because you have pushed a member of it into this observer. The moment you instantiated the observer, the moment you did this, instantiated it and passed it, the moment you did this, you have given it access. And now it now took one of those access and was like, okay, I would like to really notify this user. So let me create a method that is going to be able to enter and use one of the users updating itself feature to update the user. That's kind of what happened. So I don't know if you get it fully now, right? Yeah.
I get it. So when you now notify the observer, the message that was passed into it was test.
Yes, the message, whatever message you give when you're notifying the observer, that message you give is going to, like here that we said notify observer that I did testing, right? This message I passed in, it automatically first went here, became this parameter up here, this argument here, it became it. Then this argument I gave it still now passed
I'm
itself.
so sorry. Someone called me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I said, the moment I called the method notify observers down here, right?
Notify observer, you passed a message
every
in
time
it.
I passed the message as an argument. That message I passed becomes guy. It's held here. This is the variable that
Yes.
then the variable that holds it is still passing it to this guy, because this guy is another method that was called. So it now passes it to this guy while it's called as another argument, which
to
now
print
takes it down to
the
this
name
place.
and the message to each.
Exactly. So this thing now,
to print the name and the message to each observer.
Exactly. And the reason they can do it is because you passed it here. It now passed it to this guy, who now passed it to this guy, who now passed it here.
Passed it, yeah.
Yes. So like it's just how it is, and that's why no matter what no matter how many times, if you like, go ahead and make 10 notifications. You can see. Go ahead and make another notification. Still testing, maybe, I guess. Still testing. I don't even care anything I write. This thing one day stress me now. When you can see it will run it. And the best part, there's something I did. He didn't particularly ask us to do this, but I did it. I talked about it on the live stream, and I advised everybody to do it just to make your code more readable. You notice how if I didn't put this thing wasn't asked to put. Normally, what would have just been in this is console.log message, right? But I added this name. The reason I added it is for them to see how observers and see that these messages are coming to different observers. This
message is for
yes. This is for Julie. If we create 10 observers, you will see Somto, Julie, Ada, Victor, this one, and you can see how for each one I got my notification, you got your notification. Second notification, I got it, you got it. Third one, I got it. Every single notification.
Yeah.
So you will now take this code and like now put your things. You can now put what you want to put, whatever features. You can go ahead and even make this thing now. It doesn't end here. You can make this an object. Like you can make this doesn't have to be this. You can do something like here that is Somto now. You can do something like this.
Yes.
Something like this. And you can just come here and these I'm saying this from like part of the things I did on my own code. So you can now choose whatever you decide I want to do with your now do something like and this way now you see that you can do I will go ahead and do something. I will go ahead and change this to the reason I'm changing this to user because I don't want the name, I don't want the stack to be there's this thing that does with calling function. If you use the same variable name repeatedly, the stack is going to get killed off. I can't really explain it, but so when you run this, I think it's still okay. It's probably going to give an error for Julie. Let me go ahead and make Julie the same way I made Somto. Let me say name this person's name, and let's call her an 18. So we go ahead and we run this. You can see same result. This.user.name because I now entered this person and entered the object that is the name. I can still decide that I want to do this. I can decide I want to do something like this. You know how they said we should be putting back end. I don't know if you remember how they said we should be putting B. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yes, I can hear you.
I just want to show you how you can play around because coding is manipulating your data last. You can just play around and do whatever. See now I can go ahead and now do it that you see the user and the person user's age.
Yes.
You can even go ahead and do whether the user is you can even do whether the user is online. You can do something like status and do it okay. Is this user online or not online or shit like that? Really, it gets as large as you want to be. But all these things are really just once you get the basic concept of anyone, you can
Just added features.
yeah, you can just say, you know what, I
Yeah.
don't want this thing to be age anymore. Just tell me if this user is online or not. That's just what I want to know. And you can see it. Somto is online, Julie, whatever, stuff like that. So that's basically it. Just to recap everything, singleton pattern is like when you want just one instance, you're like, okay, you know what? In fact, you can even do it on a time-based basis. You can say, okay, you know what, for as long as it's 4 years, I want Buhari to be the only president that Nigeria has because constitutionally, that's how it should be. So you do a conditional statement that is like, as long as 4 years hasn't passed, let Buhari be the only instance of the class of president. Then after 4 years, you can be like a while loop and be like, okay, until 4 years has passed and somebody has won. And then when that happens, let it break and then let that person that won now become the new president. So it will now be maybe Conspito B is equal to president. That is how singleton patterns work. And they use it mostly for configurations for like, if you know that Access Bank app, when you open it, you see like a pretty girl walking past the street. I don't know if she's really pretty, but like her back really look up, her body look nice. So I just assumed it's a
I
pretty.
don't use. I don't use.
But just long story short, most of the banking apps, when you
Okay.
open them, there's usually something that it does at the beginning, maybe the logo or whatever. Those things now are like they probably were use singleton pattern because the setting remains the same for every user. So they don't want it to be that somebody can tamper with it and whatever, unless you decide to turn it off, of course. But like it remains the same. You won't go and say, okay, let my own video play for only 30 seconds instead of 2 minutes. No, it's there. It's there. Then the modular pattern, of course, for big projects, it's not just one script. They make plenty scripts. So they just export and import variables used. The factory
import
pattern,
and export.
yeah, the factory pattern makes it a lot easier to create things that when things have plenty things in common, like how you have plenty vehicle could be the general name, vehicle maker. And a vehicle, when someone mentions a vehicle, you're thinking, you don't know which one. You're thinking, okay, are you talking of an automobile? Are you talking of a car? Are you talking of a truck? Are you talking of a bike? Are you talking of a plane? Are you talking of
of a bike, of a bicycle?
Yes, exactly. So the only way to do
is
that,
bicycle a vehicle?
I don't know that it is. Yeah, it is actually. I think vehicle concerns movement, but then I think there is now a name for vehicles that have an engine. I think there is now a different name for them. Probably that about. You see, all these things are complicated because if Americans they talk their own, Britain go they talk their own too. Everybody they create their own English and waiting they call things. But we go just the learn
as they make we to create our own.
Yeah. So that's the factory pattern for you. You're like, okay, instead of just interviewing somebody, for example, and throwing them into one class, how about we do this? How about in the interview that we run, we will do a job interview. Generally, we are looking for an employee. That's the general name, employee, right? But we don't know there are plenty vacancies. There is the vacancy of tester, developer, graphic designer, whatever. We don't know which one this person falls into until the person gives us some criteria. So we are going to ask them for some things. And if all the things we ask them for returns a certain value, we will now use those values to determine which instance we will create them. Would they be an instance of a developer? Would they be a new developer? Or would they be a new tester or a new graphic designer? That's just how the factory pattern works. And I think that's it for the factory. What else did we have? Did they have? They had constructor pattern. Of course, you already know how the constructor works. It creates
constructor.
Creates this instance for you to be able to grab onto. And what else? There was
adapter.
Yeah, adapter. I didn't go into it in depth because it's one of those things that you don't really have to understand it in depth. You just have to understand it on the surface. Then the other details, waiting when you have a project, you can now learn how to carry it out. But adapter is just like changing things, like how there are different file formats, how there is JSON, XML, whatever. You convert it.
That one I understood it very well.
Yeah. I think that's mostly as that is mostly the, of course we did observer pattern here already. How
Then
it
prototype.
prototype. The thing with prototype itself is that I think there was a way they explained prototype such that as a class, but the way classes are, like when you're using classes, the thing with these patterns is that when you're using some patterns, you end up using other patterns. Like that prototype pattern now, we use almost all the time when we are using all these telephone dot observer or this one, that one, where we're already like sort of prototyping it in a way, creating newer methods side and all that stuff. So this is basically it, and this is it for the task. You can now configure how you want it. I don't know if you want this code. I let me just paste it in the comment section if you want the code, so you can look at and calculate it the way you want.
Okay.
Okay. Let me copy rather. Where is this Zoom call? Back to meeting. I'm trying to go back to meeting. Yeah. This thing is not letting me paste what I copied for some reason. I do not know why. But,
is it in the comment section?
yes, but let me try again. Maybe it didn't copy it properly. If it doesn't paste, that one is not a problem. Remember, I have access to your class. So I can easily just send you a DM on Discord. It's not pasting, Sha. No why. But I'm going to send it to you on Discord, Sha. You can now copy it.
All right.
Bro, I don't know why this shit ain't posting. Like, I can type, but to paste, it said no. Just making funny sounds for me. Or is it the size? Hold on. Is it the size of the thing? Not the size.
Are you sure?
Huh? What'd you say?
Is it not? Okay. It was the message you sent earlier. Is it copying now?
The thing no the Greek copy. Let me paste it. Let me see what I'll do. See what I'll do. I'll paste it on Discord. Then I will now switch, because it's probably you. Do you want to share your screen? Do you have anything you want to show me? Any problem that you?
No. For now, no.
All right. I'm saying it because I want to switch.
I think like the way you explain. You want to switch?
I'm saying because I want to switch to my to like I want to switch this call to my phone so that I can now paste this. I pasted it on Discord, but then I've copied it, and now I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Don't worry. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. You can access WhatsApp on your system now. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Um, where are you? Where are you? You go try the day top of my DMs these days. I don't know why you're always going down. You're always being a stranger. I don't know why. Send it, Sha, on WhatsApp.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it.
I included the example, the class management.
Let me just...
So don't forget to. Oh wow, she posted a video. Wahala.
Which one?
Look at the page. Look at
Is
the.
it me?
Yes. I'm viewing your status update.
Oh no.
Also now I'm sorry. Your last story, you are like, I'm sorry.
Yes. Maybe realizing I only replied mentally and never actually sent the message.
Mhm. Double earring, huh? I see. More, the way I like piercing it. Voila, sha.
Oh,
If
you saw that? You saw the
something,
double piercing?
yes, so if some things don't kill me in this world, then I
I,
mean that I really conquer.
I even want to get more.
Why stop? Why stop at one? Hmm? I can give
I
you
said I even want to get
that,
more.
that's what I'm saying. Don't stop at one. Don't stop. Don't let one stop you. That's what I'm saying.